Hi everyone, I'm Nicole, author of a vampire series called VAMPS. It's about a dhampir, so half human, half vampire, called Dillon. And Dillon finds out on his 18th birthday that he is a dhampir, and he is sent to an academy for elite vampires called VAMPS. The extracts from just after Dillon's arrived, and they've got to take part in an important ceremony which is run by the very glamorous headmistress called Madame Dupledge. So here we are, Madame Dupledge has just entered with great ceremony and she addresses the students. Welcome, students. Madame Dupledge's melodious voice filled the space. The induction ceremony marks the beginning of your 3 years here at VAMPS. By taking part, you are swearing allegiance not only to the academy, but also to me during your time here. As her eyes swept over each of them, Dillon felt the hairs on the back of his neck rise. You are committing to learning and upholding the traditions and specialised knowledge that have sustained our community for centuries and protected us from detection. We are blessed with immense speed, strength, acute senses, supernatural abilities, and sometimes special talents that are only discovered and nurtured by what you learn here under the guidance of our excellent staff. Every one of the professors you see before you is an authority in their field, and you are from some of the most well-known vampire families in our world. You have been chosen for your current aptitude and for your potential to preserve our community, but also to nurture your unique skills to enhance the world as a whole. This year is particularly special. For the first time in our history, a dhampir has been given a place at VAMPS. This is a rare privilege for the student in question, but it is also a special opportunity for us to learn from him. He will have different needs at first, and I trust you will all be considerate and help accommodate him, just as you would in the human world. Dillon felt the curious stares of the others, and an embarrassing flush began to creep up his cheeks. Now let us begin the ceremony. As tradition dictates, on your first night here you take sustenance from me. This is how you swear your allegiance to me, and it allows me to gain some insight into your character. Dillon's head shot up in panic. What Jeremiah had said was true. He felt sick. He couldn't do it, especially not in front of everyone. And with Madame Dupledge? No way. Cora touched his arm. What's wrong? She whispered. I've never done it before, he hissed back. Like Jeremiah, her eyes widened in shock. Like never? Yes, like never. I've never tasted a single drop of another person's blood. Why would I? After staring at him for a couple of seconds, her face dissolved into a grin. That explains why you smell so intoxicatingly human. You're going to love it though, trust me. As she arranged herself on the chaise longue in the centre of the hall, Dillon was reminded of a sacrificial table, and he swallowed, his throat suddenly dry. As she removed her cape, Madame Dupledge's voluptuous curves were on full display, and her red velvet dress draped artfully over the chair, and her auburn curls cascaded around her. Mr. Hunt and the rest of the teachers stood in a protective row to her side. Bram attempted a swagger as he crossed the hall, but his face was dark with suppressed emotion as he approached her. He bowed to Madame Dupledge and then formally asked her, Madame Dupledge, may I drink from you? Madame Dupledge swept her hair away from her left shoulder and exposed her creamy throat. Drink, she commanded. As much as he wanted to look away, Dillon could not take his eyes off them. He had never expected to witness anything like this in his whole life. Bram's lips pulled back, revealing his fangs, and he bent gracefully as if he'd been doing it his whole life. Almost languorously, his mouth found her neck and gently grazed her skin. Instantly, his eyes snapped shut, and he began to drink powerfully, but in perfect control. Dillon watched, horrified and enthralled, as Madame Dupledge tipped her head back and closed her own eyes, completely acquiescing. After what seemed like ages, she seemed to come back to herself, and at some unspoken command, Bram drew away courteously. She took a while to open her eyes, and Bram got a brief glimpse of the puncture marks on her throat before they healed over. Bram's eyes gleamed darkly, his pupils were distended, and he looked dazed. A teacher handed him one of the hand towels for the tiny drop of blood that still stained his lips, and Dillon found he couldn't suppress a shiver. Thank you, Bram, Madame Dupledge said approvingly. That was a masterclass in how to take blood. Dillon, you are next. There we go. So that we'll end it there. You'll have to perhaps read on to find out what happens. I really hope you enjoyed that. Thanks ever so much for listening, and hopefully meet you soon.